you can't control that passion, man. You know, sometimes you just kind of have a fire. And you need to keep those flames. Man, ain't nothing you can do about it. Like you don't really have much of a choice. Like you wake up in the morning and you go. Even if you tried to dial it back, it'll just build up, and then it'll just like come out 10 times worse than it was before. Yeah, you know, like I had goals. You know, I had expectations and things I wanted to accomplish. You know, and so like the outside world could not meet that for sure. Like I knew I wanted to win like 5, 6, 7 championships. You know what I mean? That was my goal. For me to come out and say that, people would think I was a lunatic. You know, so no matter what they said or what they threw at me, my expectations were certainly higher. I love it, right? I didn't want to be away from it. I wanted to play all the time. Like a lot of guys have fun hanging out in the pool in Vegas, and it's fine. There's a time and place for that, right? But like when I was 18, 20, 21 years old, I wanted to play basketball. I was consumed with this quest of trying to be the best, you know, and we weren't there yet. There's so many things I had to figure out. Like, am I training properly? Am I working on the right things on the court? There's so many things to do. I didn't have time to go and, you know, hang out over here.
You're always being watched. You're always being watched. There are no breaks from being watched. Either it's your kids, it's your family, it's your friends, it's your competitors, and then there's one group of people that you're never gonna get to stop watching you, and that's your haters. I didn't have a scholarship to tell me that I had a future to chase. I didn't have anything. And then the guy asked me one day, he was like, what are you gonna do? I said, man, I'm gonna try to get into college. He said, well, we got to figure that out. This is my head coach. He said, we got to figure that out because there ain't no offers. I said, Coach, you mean to tell me I ain't got one offer? Not one? Coach, I played every one of these dudes that they talking about. Because nobody could see my vision but me and God. Nobody believed in my vision but me and God. Nobody picked up a Bible every day of my life but me and God. Sunsets, 14 years old, I started reciting our Father's Prayer because I was so hungry, I was so broke, and I had nowhere else to go. And I started reciting our Father's Prayer. At 43, I'm still chasing the same sunsets because I became selfish for greatness. I became selfish to what everybody said couldn't be done. But what everybody said was impossible, God says all things are possible. I got to University of Miami. I knew I was the best athlete on the field. Well, I thought I was, but I knew I was the best athlete on the field. I just knew nobody was going to give out as much effort as I was going to give. Because when you're raised that way, it's something that it teaches. It teaches ain't no excuses. Daddy gone. Ain't no excuses. You can't run from this. I started doing the opposite of what majority of everybody else started doing. Got to the University of Miami. I'm playing. Boom, boom. These coaches. Who is this kid? Who is this kid? Who is this kid? Guy gets hurt. Blew out his knee. I don't know what it is about them knees. Blew out his knee. Second game of the year, Virginia Tech, Robert Bass. The coach, I wasn't even the first on the depth chart. You're always being watched, you're always being watched, you're always being watched. The coach screamed, give me Ray Lewis. I said, Coach, I ain't even got my helmet. What you? I didn't know I was going in. Man, give me a helmet. Somebody give me something. I put that helmet on. Man, before that game ended, I'm sitting, second quarter going into the third? I'm ending the game with about 17 tackles. And so I get on the field. And man, I'm going crazy on the field. And I'm like, they don't know how selfless I really am. But they really don't know how selfish I am for greatness. They really don't know that I'm really up here to make sure I erase my father's legacy. Whether it was wrong or right. Whether it was wrong or right. I had the greatest motivation ever, was to erase something that I never had hold me. I just wanted my father to touch me. I just wanted him to grab me and say, son, it's okay. You're always being watched. You're always being watched. You're always being watched. Next game, Colorado. Cordell Stewart, Rashawn Salam, rest in peace. Michael Johnson, Charles Westbrook, all of these dudes playing in this game. Keith Jackson, rest in peace. Famous announcer said, there's a young kid by the name of Ray Lewis. Remember his name. Weeks later, I heard that. But after that game, I had 19 tackles, whatever. Crazy game. Reporter asked me, he said, man, how good can you be? I said, honestly, I may be the greatest Hurricane ever walk up out of here. They thought I was slap crazy. They said, this man gonna come all the way up in Miami and just tell us what he said? Oh, front page of USA Today. Lewis says greatest Hurricane ever to play. Okay, y'all put it out there. Now y'all gotta watch me. Right? So when it started to happen, selfless, selfish. You wanna be remembered in life, do something that people dare to do. And say it before you think about doing it. That's the way you change a culture. A lot of people are pathfinders. Ain't too many trailblazers left. Become a trailblazer. Because when you become a trailblazer, man, nothing determines what you're willing to chase. I started grabbing every one of my dudes. They said, man, why you sprint so much? Why you sprint everything you do? I said, look, we got one rule. Everybody touch the ball. Everybody touch the ball. Everybody touch the ball. We get in the meeting room. I became so selfless. I started telling the coaches, leave the room. I need my guys to understand me. I need them to sit down with me because we got to be on the same page. Y'all just calling plays. Let us talk. Selfish. I stayed after every day. Coach kept saying, why does this guy just keep staying at the practice? Why does he keep running? Ray, you have not ran enough. I said, Coach, I'm going home to nothing.
I had to walk past pimps, prostitutes, literally walk through a graveyard, get to this intersection, 6-lane intersection, and there was a man standing there saying, will someone help me cross? Will someone help me cross? And there were all of these people that kept passing by him and passing by him. I said, I'll help you cross. So he told me he was going to my school and he was going to sell candy there. That's how he made his living. So I helped him cross the street to get there. We became good friends. His name was Mr. Butler. When I started hiring people like Taraji and Viola Davis and Idris Elba, they couldn't get jobs in this town, but God blessed me to be in a position to be able to hire them. I was trying to help somebody cross. When I built my studio, I built it in a neighborhood that is one of the poorest black neighborhoods in Atlanta, so the young black kids can see that a black man did that and they can do it too. I was trying to help somebody cross. The studio was once a Confederate Army base, and I want you to hear this, which meant that there was Confederate soldiers on that base plotting and planning on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by one Negro. It's all about trying to help somebody cross. While everybody was fighting for a seat at the table, talking about Oscar so white, I said, y'all go ahead and do that. But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own. Because what I know for sure is that if I could just build this table, God would prepare it for me in the presence of my enemies. Every dreamer in this room, there are people whose lives are tied into your dream. Own your stuff, own your business, own your way.